Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about Thomas Wood, former Hells Angel who passed away with Repo Rod. He was a leader.
Yeah. Yep.
And so there was a lot of cops surveilling the funeral.
Oh, it was a lot. I can't even put a number on the amount of cops, but there wasn't any place you didn't look and see a cop up on a building, in vehicles, SWAT teams, the whole thing, because they didn't know who killed Tommy. They still don't know who killed Tommy. The only two people that really know who killed Tommy were the two people that were out there that night, the kid on the bike and Tommy. And both of them are gone now. Anything anybody else got to say about it is hearsay. And I think they'd be fools to try to, accuse somebody of being a participant in that when they weren't there. There was two people. And both of those people are dead.
Yeah, there's speculation. I'm not going to say who, but there's speculation that there was a hit team put on them.
Right. There's all kinds of speculations, but all I can say is the two people that truly knew and the only ones that could really say both of them are dead.
So you said something else that was pretty surprising, that Tommy's mother didn't even know he was in the club.
No. We were told that day, she didn't know that Tom was in the club. And that's what we were told, that the mother couldn't believe what was going on because she had no idea who was in the motorcycle clubs. Originally, his headstone had AFFA and an angel forever an angel, which, is in that picture that you're showing. That's not his headstone anymore. Another one was made like that without the AFFA in it.
Oh, so they took it off.
Yeah, his mother did not want her son to rest with that there. So they changed the headstone. They got another headstone.
Wow.
All I can say is claims to have been his wife, claims they weren't married, but I was up there about a year ago at his gravesite. And I went back down in town. I got some bleach and a scrub brush and bottles of water and soap and scrubbed his stone that looked like it had been there for 60 years and fixed his grave up and put some flowers there, man. And all you guys say you was, real hurt and, boo-hoo-hoo. Tommy was my husband. He wasn't your husband. Why don't you go up there and clean his grave up if he mattered that much to you? Why don't any of them? They don't. But I did. I know there was, I think, like 2 memorial runs they did for a fallen member, and in the rounds it included going out there to Tommy's grave. Righteous. Everybody cares about him. Y'all forgot about him. I haven't forgotten about him. I still get up there when I can, come up, get out to that grave. I'll make sure his grave looks nice. I think he'd do the same thing if the shoe was on the other foot.
It seems Tommy made a pretty big impact on you.
Tommy was a good dude, man. We had some days we rode around together and talked and whatever. Got to know one another. Tommy's ultimate goal, from what he had said, was, once Philadelphia was established and on its feet, he was going to do like Delaware County, or he was looking at, moving up towards the Poconos with his real girlfriend and opening up a charter up there. There was talks of, Bucks County charter coming. You would have had Philadelphia, Bucks County, somewhere up in the Poconos, possibly a Delaware County charter, York County. You'd have had 4 or 5 just in the state of Pennsylvania, if not more. Pennsylvania could have been like one of the largest charter networks for the Hells Angels because of its size.
Yeah.
And you got Pagans, Outlaws, Vagos, and I don't know what else in Pennsylvania now. I'm sure there's more. Wheels of Soul, all 1% clubs. Warlocks are in Pennsylvania. There's multitude of different clubs. The Hell's Angel, would have had to deal with, I'm sure more confrontations with the Pagans and, going into different places and opening up in different areas that they do anywhere they open. Any 1% will either wind up, having a happy medium or going to blows for opening up in someone else's area that they think is theirs. And it's just the nature of the beast when you're doing that.
Do you think these clubs can coexist?
Right now, they seem to be. Pagans are a dominant club, man. They are the one out there to look at. They're no joke. They've been around as long as a couple of these other ones. The dude that got jammed up Conan, man, he's a force to be reckoned with, and smart dude, man. But they're growing. They're growing. They're gonna, I think, be the dominant 1% motorcycle club throughout the East Coast, and moving. I got a friend in Texas who says they're down there. Another one in Florida. I haven't seen any here in the Bayou yet. They'll be here, I'm sure.
I've seen them in my state.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Yep.
Yeah, and I believe they're in Rhode Island.
Yeah, they're all over, man. A lot
Long
of people.
Island. Yeah.
A lot of people say, "Oh wow, I saw them. I've never seen them." But you know what? They're probably already were there. You just didn't see them.
But when they start expanding, like one story I heard, I interviewed Hogman's daughter, and they were infiltrated by the ATF, by an agent.
Expansion always has a risk of law enforcement finding a way in. I learned that originally Philadelphia, like we'd spoken with Pee Wee, when he got in, he went down and took a lie detector test. They sent him to have a lie detector test done. As I understood it, in Philadelphia, the SA, they collected X amount of money to do a background check on you. And in that background check, there should have been all kinds of stuff. But, it was a paper you filled out with some information on it, and you gave them some money, and they did a background on you. Well, come to find out, the dude that was doing it in Philly for a while, he's like going home and having his wife run the background checks on like IntelliSearch or something shit on the internet.
Yeah.
Really?
And they let some big things slip through, right?
Oh yeah. There was some good things that slipped through there. The dude that jammed me up, had they done a real in-depth background on him, it didn't take me long.
He's passed away now, right? The guy that jammed you up?
Yep. He passed away in like 2019, I think.
We can talk about him if you want to.
Oh yeah, he was a piece of shit. I don't know how else to put it.
What did he do before he became a Hell's Angel?
He said he ran with a crew down in Philly. He was Italian and Irish, so he could never be anybody hooked up. He said he was out there making money, and he had so many different stories. And like I say, I gave you the know how to go look up what I found, where he sent dudes up the river on life charges, just a number of years before coming out Philly's way. He was a paid informant then, and man, if you'd done your homework, y'all would have seen that. You would have found it if you really did a background check on or did a lie detector test on people. 100%. You would have known before this guy ever got around.
Do you have any stories about when you guys were on runs? Any stories you could tell?
Just like some of them that we did, like Pee Wee and I spoke, man. I saw him a lot of places. I mean, I can remember we went out, and I think it might even have been the one where Pee Wee and I were referencing out in the Ozarks, a USA run, and that was a shit show because Philly was still around then, and there was an ex-pagan that was prospecting, missed like 2 USA runs, and finally he got out to that one. And thing is, you're supposed to ride out there, have a bike available to you at the run. He flew out. He didn't have a bike, and he made up this story that he had like a Texas chopper or something like that, and something went bad with it, and because of what it was, he couldn't get the part. But anyway, I was talking to a couple of guys that were running things down on the East Coast. Everything was cool after I talked to them, and they said, "Hey, man, where's this guy? Is he here?" Yeah. Well, we want to talk to him. You tell him, if you find him, tell him to come see us. So I go find the guy. I'm like, "Hey, man, you need to go find these guys. And whatever you do, man, just tell them the truth. Don't lie to them. Just tell them the truth. What happened." Well, he went over, and all I know is the next thing, man, them two guys is coming up like, "Get that piece of shit off these grounds, get his stuff, and tell him hit the bricks, get down the road. Drop him off the airport, call him taxi, have him call his own taxi. It doesn't matter. Get him out of here." Because he was full of shit, lied to him. Why? Why? Why did you lie? I don't know, but he was way out in Western PA, had his own like a triaxle or something back then. I heard he passed away. I don't know, and I heard he wound up sometime later going back to the Pagans, which whatever.
How did they take you back though? That's like, that blows my mind that you would leave, go with the opposition, and then go back.
That, like I say, Bill, that's hearsay, man. That's just whistling in the wind that he wound up going back to them.